Hi, Nick, and many others, because this question comes up in a lot of different posts in recent times about the past 2 years about AI apps or solutions or services, whatever, that kind of replace trainers. Um, I want to be general here, not specific on a specific like role, like an English teacher, a language teacher, but I'm looking for. I've been this use case has been brought up this for AI, and I work in AI, so this has come up with all of the video production that's happening, and now that we're capable of implementing speech technologies, both text to speech and speech to text, the ability now to have avatars that can look like a person, very very resemble a person. And now, if we can get the speech to text and text to speech applications to work with generating text or generating speech, we could get from a script, we could get a avatar to speak and to give a training course. If the script is all scripted out, right? If we have a scripted out text, which does happen. A lot of people do give training courses where they're given scripts and you have to say this over. This happens a lot with voiceover artists. So sometimes uh, I've done a lot of voiceovers. So you have a script. You might have to modify that just for the pronunciation aspects of it, but there'll be lots of text you have to be able to read, and you have to read a prompter or something, or it kind of depends. So if you're a talking head, right, if you're actually talking and you're seeing the person and the person's talking, and they have to read a script, you have to make sure that their eyes aren't looking down at a screen or something. So you got a prompter. But I want to take this. This has come up, and I've been really thinking about this. What is the risk here? And this is going to go in my AI and my playlist on AI, responsible AI, and about replacing people. Right? Am I going to play this YouTube channel about this topic? But the risk I see here is I don't really have a problem if the content has never been given before. There's never been trainers on the topic, and you're trying to um, roll out something. Well, we actually do this already with just scripts, right? We just put scripts up and don't have a person giving the course anymore. So we use captions in the text. We're already doing this for courses that have been given before, right? So moving to self-paced learning, uh, where they might have a video that has people interacting, or you might have these diagrams where you have people they're just images, right? So, and they'll give a context, a scenario, and then have go through the sessions, mainly a voice talking or a text that you have to read, right? The thing where I'm a little more cautious about is if you've been giving training courses on a regular basis. Now, let's say big institutions, these can be governments, this can be NGOs, this can be companies. If you've been giving training courses on a regular basis and you have a large number of users, and then you decide, and especially right now with all of the transformations, the restructuring that's happening across a lot of big organizations where people are, voluntary leave is now the buzzword, right? What happens when you lose those skilled trainers? And you're starting to lose the skilled trainers. And the skilled trainers are usually not just skilled, but the appreciated trainers. They get good notes, they get good marks, right? They were getting evaluated pretty well, and now they're leaving. Put this in a hypothetical thing, and then you have to go to other trainers. The decision is: do you need to go to other trainers that are new and lower cost countries? This is usually kind of the big thing right now, right? Uh, And some of those countries, they're who might be able to claim native speaker of a certain language, given language, right? International language. They might be able to do that, but they might have pretty thick accents because it was a colonized country, right? By the culture of that international language. And so because they have these, they might have an accent. We all have accents, right? This is nothing new. This is nothing new. People have had accents. Everyone has accents. But if at that certain culture where the trainers who could be available now, right, are those that tend to have a thick accent and might be difficult to understand. And they maybe they've already given training courses, and what they're marked down on might be because they're difficult to understand because of their accent by other people, right? That may be coming from these home countries of these international languages, right? Not just, but maybe that, or the people that are used to hearing people that are giving training sessions and presentations with a neutral accent, right? No, good speakers, let's say that. And I've highlighted a lot of that. The worst thing is to go to a session. It's hard to handle. At a presentation, it's really an important presentation about a product demo, something, and the person giving it doesn't have a neutral accent, right? That's easy to understand. This gets highly critiqued, and I've done this too. But now I'm flipping the thing here, and I'm saying, what happens when now, if the decision is, rather than let these newer generation of trainers with non-neutral accents give the training courses to people, the option now is to use these AI generated content and voice so to actually create a self-paced training course, right? Where we've had trainers in the past. And now we don't have as many trainers, and the new trainers, are harder to understand, possibly. And if we have to do this in a quick manner, because maybe some major changes, we rolled out a new something, a new software or something in there. You have to upgrade everything, to change everything, and the decision is to kind of take existing videos and maybe the training courses that already existed with human, trainers, and make them write a scripted text. And they kind of use a text-to-speech, software application. There are lots of these to generate the captions that you can now put into. You strip out the voice of the existing videos of the people, and you actually use the generated content to do a new voiceover with a more neutral sounding voice. I have some issues with that one, but even worse now, not even worse, even going to a fuller extent. Let's now not use the existing videos of people giving the training course, but now create an avatar, a talking head avatar that looks like a person, have the script that's doing text to speech, and put them together so that you've got, because there's software that can do these things. They have the talking head and the text to speech and the voice in there. It's all integrated, right? And they can get, so because they're lined up, you can make the lips look on the avatar look like it's actually saying at the same time. And now you're replacing the trainers, the humans that were doing this. There I'm beginning to have some issues, and especially if these training courses have been given, at least the older versions have been given by human trainers. This gets into the issue of replacing people. And what I do agree with is that you can't really replace the humans, because you got a script, you got something like that, or you might use the existing voice of the voice track of the previous videos, and you might just convert that to text and then run it back through again, and convert it to text and then take that text and then run it back to a text to voice, so you can kind of reverse that with a different voice. This is replacing people. And a lot of it, what bothers me, is that it's saying that it's We're doing it because we need to do this because we have a lot of people to train now. We have a lot more people to train on a newer feature or whatever or something, or a new module or a new web-based version of a previous product or something, whatever. But because it's replacing the people because their accents are too difficult to understand, that bothers me. Because that's dealing with a perfection kind of thing, that we need to be able to understand people perfectly to be able to take a training course. It needs to be perfect. They need to be beautiful people. They need to look good. They need to have a good voice, neutral voice, which I believe it's good to have more of a neutral voice. That helps a lot. It's good to put people on things that have more of a neutral voice. We do this with voiceover services too, right? But then taking it to the point of creating the avatars and doing that bothers me. And I think that this is going to be an ongoing trend. And I think that a lot of large organizations, governments, NGOs, corporations are going to be going through this, especially with these kind of the restructuring and happening, the transformations. They all say the word transformation, right? Which means that we're going to have people leave, have newer people, and we're going to find newer ways to use AI to actually do what the other people were doing before. That's where the response. I'm bringing it back to responsible AI, and I think this is bothersome, and I think this is something that needs a little bit of needs to be addressed. I think there are ways you can boost the productivity. I think you can create self-paced learning courses. I think there are ways to do it that don't completely replace people. There's an option, but if you're not offering the training course anymore by humans, but you're only doing it by the self-paced with a scripted text that it's not telling you these. You can't tell these jokes or anecdotes. You can't have that human aspect of it. That's part of the training course, right? Usually, there are ways to do this with e-learning, content management systems. You can do this, but not to this extent where you're completely replacing the people that have been doing it. So it's a big open debate, and we'll see what people think about it.